Hello everyone and welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This time we're reviewing The Eaters of Light and I'm joined by two very special guests. Firstly, to my virtual left, his anaconda don't want none unless you got mirrors, hun, it's Freezing
Holy shit.
You can thank Kat for that one.
Thanks, Kat.
And I've given it away to my virtual right, she met David Tennant and didn't ask him about mirrors, it's Kat.
Yeah.
And yes, she really did meet David Tennant this weekend, by the way. I am insanely jealous.
I have the autograph to prove it.
Yes,
she met John Barrowman too, and he literally signed the thing also as Captain Jack.
That's because John Barrowman is a rad dude.
Barrowman?
Barrowman?
Oh, I didn't tell you guys the best part. He had a panel, and at this panel, his Q&A, he had on a robe, which he took off to reveal he was in a TARDIS onesie with high heels on.
Holy Jesus.
Barrowman?
There is footage of it online. I will try to find it for you guys later.
Oh my God.
I'll take your word for it.
That's nice. So let's talk about the episodes of the Doctor Who that was on the telly.
Yes, the Eaters of Light, written by Rona Munro.
The Eaters of Light?
Light.
You just said the Eaters of Right. I swear to God I heard you say the Eaters
I didn't.
of Right.
I said light.
Look, tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
I think I know my right from my left, or should I say my light from my left? Anyway. This was written by Rona Munro, who last wrote Survival, which was the last ever Doctor Who episode for a long time.
It was, and it's very good. Survival's very good.
It's very good. It has the Master in it. It also has cheetah people if you're into that sort of thing. So something for everybody.
Lesbian cheetah people at that.
Yeah. And
Yay.
this kind of has some similar themes to Survival. It didn't have cheetah people, thank goodness, but
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the whole thing about youth.
Yeah.
And youth trying to find their place in the world.
Yeah, that makes sense in a way.
Yeah, there was just one big thing that it didn't have in common was that it wasn't as good as Survival.
Have you seen Survival?
No.
It's not bad.
I'm just going off by what you guys said.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It is not as good as Survival, unfortunately. This is I'm gonna have to come out and say it. I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah. I kind of am too.
Yeah. It's not a shit episode. It's not Lie of the Fucking Land. It's not even Knock Knock. It's just kind of...
It exists.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. One thing
it's not hard to slog through on a rewatch, but it's one you kind of like, would I really miss anything if I skipped over this episode?
Yeah, it's filler. Well, actually, it's not filler, but the bulk of it you could skip.
40 minutes of it is filler.
Yeah, and then we get to the actual important stuff.
Yeah.
At the very end. But I'll say one thing for it. Visually, it was stunning.
Yeah, it looked good.
The Scottish Highlands looked absolutely gorgeous, which is hilarious because that wasn't the Scottish Highlands. It was a mountain in Wales. It was a mountain in Wales.
Look, I'm just remembering another classic Doctor Who story, which was the Five Doctors. That was the 20th anniversary story, and it was set on Gallifrey in this gross-ass, hilly, mountainous, dead wasteland, and it was fucking Wales.
They try to film in Wales. They try and film in Wales whenever they can because it's easier for the budget. It was very cold according to Peter Capaldi, and they couldn't get the trailers up the hill because it was very steep. So what was their solution for the cast? Horse boxes. And there's a rather funny moment on one of the behind the scenes videos where Peter Capaldi's like, "They brought me some hay to eat," and
oh God,
he's a funny man, that Peter Capaldi. It's kind of strange to me that this is not. It's just dawned on me. This is actually the final ever standalone Doctor Who episode starring Peter Capaldi.
And what a note to go out on.
Well, he's not going out on this note.
Yeah, but I mean, for standalones.
Yeah.
So wait, is it confirmed that the last two are linked?
Well, the last two is a two-part finale, definitely.
Okay.
That's been known since the beginning of the series.
All right, I didn't really know if it was linked or not. I assumed, but I didn't know.
It's not linked to this one officially, kind of unofficially in the way that some of the episodes have kind of bled into the other ones, like we saw with Thin Ice and Smile. That kind of bled into each other. It's kind of a similar deal to that, but no, officially it's just a two-parter at the end of the series, starting next week.
Okay.
But back to this week then. There were some high points and some interesting things to mention. Let's start with Bill.
I like Bill.
Yay, Bill.
Yeah, well, Bill is the one that sets the adventure rolling, really, because she really wants, for whatever reason, to find out what happened to this mysterious Ninth Legion that vanished without a trace.
And I will say that you can tell that this is a writer who wrote for the classic series originally, because the first goddamn thing that happens is that the Doctor and companion get separated and they each meet up with an opposing faction.
Yep. Again, this is has a very old school kind of feel to it.
Yeah, of course. Well, if it was really old school, like both of them would be captured in essence, but Bill's not really captured. But the Doctor and Nardo absolutely are.
Yes. I like that popcorn distraction.
Oh, that's beautiful. But that's not Bill. That's not Bill.
It's not Bill, no. But
let's not take away from our things we can say.
I'll say one thing about Bill. She's starting to sort of develop her own tropes now. Last week, she fell into a hole in the ground and was found by a soldier.
That was this week.
This week, she fell into a hole in the ground and was found by a soldier.
Okay. You confused me for a second.
No, I do like.
Yeah, I do like the whole thing where she realizes about the TARDIS translation, which actually feels like comes a little late. You'd expect that in I don't know. I don't know. She wouldn't question it in Empress of Mars, or
well,
that's really the only other time.
In Empress of Mars, the soldiers all spoke in English, obviously, because they were British
I meant the
soldiers.
Ice Queen.
Yeah, that's a bit strange. That again, it might have to do with this one was originally perhaps not intended to be in episode 10, in the slot of episode 10,
or it could be that Friday had to talk to the soldiers somehow, so she might have assumed that
Friday,
they had a translator.
Yeah, Friday talking in English, I understand.
Yeah, either way, it's cute. It's it's pretty standard. Oh wow, this is a thing that the show does. But I do loved. Oh my god, it even does lip sync.
That was funny. Yes. Yeah.
Which is something you never really thought of.
It's unusual, but it fits Bill's character that she's still realizing that various trappings of the whole TARDIS adventure experience that we as viewers take for granted.
Yeah. She's
still getting used to, or she's still learning for the first time. And this is one of those moments. Okay. Also the bit where the Romans and the Picts are confronting each other, and Bill's like, do we all sound like children to you then?
Hmm.
Is that how we understand each other?
And her big speech about the Doctor to the Romans, you trust this one man, you'll make it out. You won't die, but you might die, but you won't die in a hole.
Yeah, I can't promise you'll all die if you follow me, but I can promise you won't all die in a hole in the ground.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, Bill has some good moments in this one, separated from the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately,
it's kind of funny because she's really growing up in all of these episodes so far.
It's kind of a shame then the finale has come when it has come.
I know.
Because I don't think she'll develop that much in this one.
Well, we don't know. Well, we don't know if Bill's leaving or not, do we?
True.
We don't know. No. If she's a one series companion, that would be a bit of a surprise. But then again, maybe Chris Chin will want to wipe the slate entirely clean. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, let's put it this way: it's the last we'll see of the Moffat Bill. We're going to get a completely different Bill, probably.
Yes.
At least a somewhat different Bill.
If she does stay on the TARDIS, then she will be different when Chibnall writes her. That's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Bill was the strongest member of the TARDIS team, if I can call them that, in this episode. For me, that was not all.
Ah, not at all.
I thought Matt Lucas was really good in this one.
He worked well.
Death by Scotland.
Yes.
I just had to ask, was he telling a story about the Mary Celeste?
Yes.
which is interesting because there's an old story, a classic story called The Chase with William Hartnell in it, and that actually shows what happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste. You want to know what that one says?
I'm gonna guess because I know what the monster of the chase is. I'm gonna guess it involves the Daleks somehow.
You're right! It was the Daleks. They show up on the Mary Celeste and everyone jumps off the ship in a panic because of the Daleks, and they all died.
Sensible people, apart from the dying part, but sensible people.
Yeah.
He's got some really good some lines and jokes in this one. Death by Scotland. All I can think of is the joke of, you are now entering Scotland, no salad for 200 miles.
Oh, they piss on Scotland so much.
I've got Scottish friends. If they ever find out I've made that joke, my life will not be worth living.
It's okay. I know one Scottish person, and I don't think they watch these
Hell,
things.
I've got Scottish ancestry myself. They're not going to be very happy either. But yeah.
Oh God.
One thing I will say about Death by Scotland, it's scientific fact that people that don't get enough exposure to the sunlight can suffer from health problems. So it's kind of it's kind of a extension of that, an extreme extension, but an extension of that.
You need that D, boy.
The D.
You need to get the D.
The vitamin D before we...
I'm sorry, what did you just say? The D?
No, the vitamin D.
I'm sorry, I can't understand your weird British accent.
Let's not get carried away here.
Vitamin.
Yes.
Wow, now I can't understand Frez either. Weird.
Speaking of accents, Matt Lucas' Scottish accent? No.
I did like how, after the doctor came out of the portal, Darnold's, telling them stories and just sitting there with face paint on as part of the group.
Yes.
He literally charmed them onto his side.
I'm against charm.
Yeah. What are you doing? I'm ingratiating myself. Stop that. It's nauseating.
I do want to say, the doctor in this one, he seems like a bit of a regression. It feels like Rona Munro is running for Series 8, almost. Because the doctor's kind of,
yeah,
a jerk.
He's a jerk, but I think he's a jerk with good intentions.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's what Series 8 Dr. Capaldi was.
To a bigger extent, yeah.
Yeah, but it just feels like a bit of a weird regression to me.
I also liked Noddle's outfit, which I believe is a tribute to Douglas Adams.
Oh my God.
I think it's a tribute to The Hitchhiker's Guide. I may be wrong.
Okay, but...
Did he have a towel?
He was wearing a bathrobe.
The colour of the bathrobe, though,
was orange.
Doesn't For Prefect wear that in one of the... Oh, never mind.
It's Arthur Dent that wears the bathrobe.
I got Arthur Dent, and God damn it.
Wow, wait, Douglas Adams.
So, not at all coming in to give a segue. Do you guys remember when the doctor was talking about being a second-class Roman citizen?
Oh yeah,
Vestal Virgin second class.
Does anybody else think that maybe it could have been a small joke towards fires of Pompeii?
Maybe.
I think it was that. There were people kind of lost their minds over that line. I was like, wait, are they implying he was a woman at one time? No, because that's the second class bit.
I have no idea.
Vestal Virgin second class. I think the second class is a joke that he was still a man. I'm not sure about that, but...
Mm-hmm.
But you're not...
Wait, are you implying that women were second-class citizens?
No, I'm implying that in the Vestal Virgins, men were second-class citizens because the Vestal Virgins were all women.
Oh. Okay, I'll accept that.
Confusing derail.
It is a bit of a derail, isn't it? But yeah, I thought Matt Lucas had some very good and funny lines and moments in this one. This is worse than Jazz when the bagpipes are being played.
Yeah, it's almost like when you write Nardo well, you actually write Nardo well.
What's wrong with Jazz?
Well, I think it's kind of overrated. I mean, sure, you have some good people who sing and, play it, but honestly, it's really overrated as a genre of music, I think.
Wash your mouth out, right. But I do think that this was Matt Lucas's best episode to date.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go that far. He's pretty good in it.
It's probably because the rest of it was so sort of mundane that he shone,
yeah, okay.
and therefore he shone brighter.
I get where you're
Wow,
coming from.
there goes that accent again. Can't understand a thing.
He shone brighter. Oh,
He shone brighter.
yeah. This will get it back on.
It sounds like you're saying Sean.
No,
Yeah.
shone as in shine.
Oh,
Past tense of shine.
he's shining a lot. It must be that vitamin D.
This will get kept back on. This will get kept back on side. The D.
Yeah. Speaking of D's, how about them Romans?
Nice segue.
Okay.
Yeah, the Romans. Not too much to them, really, the Romans. I mean, again, this series has suffered from a lack of memorable side characters. They were soldiers, basically, although Lucius fared rather better.
Yeah.
He actually has some character to him. The idea that he's the granddad of the Legion because he's the oldest left, and he's 18, that's quite unsettling.
That's something.
Yeah. This is where
That's just how it works.
This is where my background in ancient history will come to the fore here. Carl's speech about they make deserts and they call it peace.
Uh-huh.
When she said, let me tell you about the Romans. They do this work and they call it empire. They make deserts and they call it peace. That second part of that quote is referencing an actual quote written down by the Roman historian Tacitus, which is about the Romans. Although Tacitus was a Roman historian, he's referring to a British chieftain who says the Romans make a desert and they call it peace. So that was a reference I rather liked because of my background. I can also tell you, as an ancient historian, the Romans were bastards.
Yep. Pretty much.
So it's kind of strange then that these Romans are not really bastards. These particular
you
Romans.
have to remember that they're still people. People differ. I mean, let's say here in the U.S. they had the draft during the World Wars. Not everybody's going to be on the same side as, wanting to go to war.
Yeah.
They got forced into it. More than likely, these poor kids were forced into it. Because that's just what you had to do.
Again, there's historical precedent there that's exactly what happened. So I have to give Rona Munro some credit. She did research her subject quite well. I mean, she did have some flexibility because, we don't know what happened to the Ninth Legion at all, so there's some room to manoeuvre there. But the general basics of who the Romans were and who the Picts were.
Oh, look who's back.
Back again.
It's our special guest, the dog.
And to my unfortunately ahead from me, she won't bloody shut up, it's Fresno's dog.
She always knows.
She knows.
She know. I know that you say that, but the reality is that she's just a big crybaby and barks at literally everything.
Yeah, but she's barked nearly every single time you've been in one of the reviews.
Yeah.
That's because she barks at nearly everything, and like every hour of the day she's barking at something.
This dog talk is great, but can we get back to the Romans?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we talk about that interesting scene?
Well, yeah, that's a very interesting scene indeed, and I can just feel that crowd on the internet. I can just
leftist progressive globalist political agenda strikes again, motherfuckers!
I can practically hear the hackles being raised as we speak.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's not like historically some people back then were actually gay or anything like that. No.
Look no further than ancient Greece.
Yep.
There are quite a few records of Greek citizens either being homosexual or bisexual, and it not being seen as a terrible thing at all. Like
they fucked themselves, they fucked each other, they fucked the opposite sex, they probably fucked goats at some point.
One word: orgies.
Yep.
Holy shit.
So
if you look at ancient graffiti, more than likely it's penis jokes and stuff like that. They were very sexual people.
It's why
they did not give a fuck.
It's why in 300, Leonidas makes a joke that the Athenians are boy lovers.
Oh God!
And because the Romans conquered the Greeks, it kind of makes sense to me that that element of their culture, because the Romans absorbed a lot of culture, would
they absorbed
get
a lot of dick too.
Hey-o! The D.
That's what they wanted to do. All this conquering, it wasn't for anything else. It was for that vitamin D.
God damn it, Presto. We are not calling that.
This episode was underwhelming.
Scotland.
This episode was underwhelming. All I have are dick jokes.
We are not calling that vitamin D.
Yeah, we are. Now it's official.
Vitamin D, the new mirrors.
Oh God! Now you've ruined the concept of sunlight forever for me as well as mirrors.
Cat started it.
Oh no! You don't get to deflect onto her.
I don't get to reflect onto her?
Deflect. Oh God, I said D again.
Now we ruined the concept of letters.
So continuing on with Doctor Who reviews.
This review brought to you by the letter D, right? No, so I like the scene. I like the scene where it's like, I think it's really sweet. You're so restricted. That's what Lucius says to Bill. Yeah, again, kind of a trope that's hilarious. Shenanigans abound when her sexuality is mistaken by other characters, and this time it's sort of turned around on her. And again, it was her race with the blue guy in Oxygen. I can't remember his name now. The blue-headed guy in Oxygen.
I don't know. I don't remember his name either.
Yondu with Yondu.
Yondu, yeah. It was basically Darren. That's it, because she said it's Darren.
Darren, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
But other than that, not really too much to say about the Romans. Cornelius, the only other one that gets a character, and I knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah.
Prototypical coward with a smart mouth. He's never making it out alive.
Yeah, no.
He's better than the other cowardly soldier in last week's episode. In as much as that, he's not a bad person compared to that soldier in last week's episode. But in terms of character, he did nothing. He was a red shirt.
Yeah.
He was a named red shirt, but he was a red shirt.
At least the Romans had some character, at least. The other side didn't really have anything.
Yes, the Picts.
I kind of, appreciate the characters we did get.
Yeah. Only one Pict had any real character to them whatsoever, and that was the leader of the Picts, and that was Car.
Car.
Okay. Are we going to talk about the crows now, or wait?
We can talk about the crows when we get to the resolution.
Okay, I will say.
But the character of Car was okay.
I did like the intro where she's just honoring her fallen dead, and then she sees Bill, she's just like, ah!
And then Bill messes it up, yeah.
Bill didn't even mess anything up. She just saw her, and another week, I'm gonna kill you.
Another Throny game actor.
Oh, that's a Throny game actor?
Yeah, Rebecca Benson. You'd be forgiven for not knowing she was in Throny game. She appeared in Series 6 as a character called Tala Tarley, sister of Samuel Tarley. She was in one episode to date.
Yeah,
so a very minor character.
One episode in Game of Thrones. I wonder what happened to her.
No, she's alive.
Oh,
spoilers! She's alive.
Wow, George R. R. Martin, you're slipping up here.
There's still another 2 series. There's a chance that she could buy the farm.
Oh, they're all going to buy the fucking farm.
I think that might be
George R. R. Martin.
I think Westeros might just explode and everyone dies.
the sun hits it and it implodes.
And then we just find out it was all a dream.
They get too much vitamin D.
Here we go again. But
in both senses of the word, they get too much vitamin D.
Car was fine.
Yeah.
She was fine.
I quite like the fact that she was supposed to be this great warrior, but actually she was just a scared little child.
I mean,
that's
teenager.
The entire
thing. They were all like scared kids.
Yeah. Funny how she was the leader, though, when there were definitely older Picts that were still alive.
Yeah.
Oh. So, I guess she was chosen to be the guardian of the gate.
Well, yeah, her lineage of being the gatekeeper.
I guess that elevated her.
Only she royally messed that up by saying, you know what? Instead of fighting the beast, I'm going to let it free.
I will say her reason for letting the beast free makes me like her character more, just because it seems like something a desperate child would do. You know, these invaders, they come in, they kill, like, apparently all of the adults, and just, like, trash the place.
They certainly kill most of the fighting adults, yes. The Picts were
in
farmers.
her mind, this is, like, the best idea. It's like, I could fight this monster and try to stay alive, but if I let it out, it might kill them off.
Even though the survivors of the Roman Legion are not exactly the worst people, that as we get to know them, it's hard for me to sort of criticise Kat for what she's done, even though it's kind of depicted as a bad decision, because, like you said, she's scared and she's desperate.
Yeah, I would say it was a bad decision just because she couldn't control what she had done before.
Yes. But the Romans were the invaders.
Also kind of an understandable one.
Let's not forget the Romans were the invaders here. Yeah. The Picts were minding their own business, they were tending to their farmlands, and then the Romans tried to invade. The Picts did actually...
It's like, you know the show Breaking Bad?
I do.
Walter White basically makes meth in order to gain money to, at first, like, help his cancer or whatever.
Yes.
It's like, I can understand why he did that, but it doesn't mean I do it myself. That's how I feel with Carr.
Yeah. You can sympathise, but she's not relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And if we go back to history again, the Picts, which we either get the word picture from them, or that word is derived from the word picture. There's some dispute about that. It's from the paint. It's from the paint they used to cover themselves in when they were fighting. They were a real tribe, and they were a ferocious tribe. And as far as we know, the Romans didn't actually beat them all.
Well, there you go.
The Romans sort of stayed out of Scotland when it was obvious the Picts were just going to slaughter them all. So, as far as we know, they survived. Up to a point, anyway. Go. Yeah. But, I quite like Kat. I still don't think she's that memorable, or will be that memorable down the line, but it was good to give one of them...
Well, there is the one thing that...
All right, in terms of the continuity of the story, she'll be memorable, but in terms of to the audience's memory, she won't be that memorable.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Speaking of not that memorable, the monsters.
Komodo dragon with tentacles.
Light-eating locusts.
I kind of likened them to a Resident Evil villain, where they just have the dog, and then the dog's face like explodes with tentacles.
The lickers?
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
They do kind of resemble the lickers a little bit, but they're more sort of lizard-like, and as he says, Komodo dragon-esque.
I mean, I will say this, it was definitely better last week when we saw them in the trailer, and we were like, what the fuck is that thing? It's just like a bunch of tentacles. Ooh, this is spooky, what the fuck? And then you see it, and this is like, oh, it's just a big lizard.
Do you remember how I said back in the Thin Ice review that they did well to not show all of the fish at once?
Yeah.
Opposite here, and it didn't work.
Oh, well.
I mean, they were kind of backed into a corner, because having the scene where they're trying to drive the beast back into the void where it came, you've kind of got to see it in all its glory. But it creates problems.
I mean, okay. It's not the worst monster in Doctor Who history. It's not the fucking Merca.
Mm-hmm.
I've shown you people the Merca.
I know
before,
the Merca. Right? I'm choosing to ignore you, but I know the Merca.
It's is that the
monster? No. The Merca's giant pantomime horse. Raniac, put it on screen right now.
Karate.
Because it would have been funny. It would have been funny if it was the vagina monsters, because then they have a reason to get the D.
It's not the vagina monsters. Cat. One word. Karate.
No,
I
Kat,
know what that means.
You should have been here last week. We were talking about Alpha Centauri if we were talking about the D.
Ah, yes, the D stands for Dancing Olive.
Well, the monster doesn't really do it. It's okay, I guess.
It's built up as this huge threat. Like, oh, it's going to eat the sun, and it'll eat the stars, and, the world will end because of these things. And it's just not a big threat in the context of the story.
And then they shine some light on it, and it's like, ow, and goes back home.
They poison it.
Ow.
They poison the beast.
I would have liked a better explanation for why that kind of light, that reflected light, poisoned it, because I honestly have no idea how the hell that worked.
Mirrors.
No, they said it. No, it wasn't mirrors. They said it.
It was.
They said it in this episode, Kat. They said that as the beast ate the sunlight, their little thing poisoned it.
Yeah, but how? What was it made out of?
It cancelled out the light.
It was made out of some technobabble bullshit.
Rose quartz.
I just would have liked them to say, this filters out this kind of ray, and that would poison the creature.
They did say that. He said it's got light cancellation properties.
Yeah, but what kind of light cancellation properties?
All right.
So the kind that work. I don't know.
They could have elaborated on it.
It was just a little vague for me. It was just like, it was kind of like the sonic screwdriver, where it's just, this works. Trust me, this works.
It's not the first time I've had this as a complaint where they've shown all the monster and it's proven to be underwhelming. There's that word again, underwhelming. But yeah, it just didn't work. Sorry to say.
I do like the idea of the void, and how 1 second there is days out here.
Yeah.
Which ties into the resolution.
Yes, the big grand finale of this episode. So they've got the beast cornered, they drive it back into the void, and the Doctor is like, I've got a solution, I'll fight it off for eternity.
No, you won't, they say, and then they go in instead.
Carr says,
then it's
my destiny.
The exact same ending of Lie of the Land, where he gets knocked out and then other people save the day.
Not quite.
Except, well, for one, it's not derivative of other shit, so it's like...
And for two, it's not a Power of Love ending, so that's great.
Well, it's not a Power of Love ending.
Hey. Power of Love endings are fine, depending on their context. I don't hate an ending just because it is a Power of Love ending. It all depends on the context and the symbolism involved.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a Power of Love ending, and that was great.
Right.
You can practically see the line as it's being yanked back onto the rod.
But yeah, it's kind of an ending we've seen before, where the Doctor gets taken out and it's like, no, you're not going to do this, we're going to do this. So
yes. It makes kind of sense that Carr would sacrifice herself in this way because it's her destiny, and also it's her fault.
Yeah.
And we've seen
Not really sure why the Romans did it, though.
Because they're the Lost Legion.
Not really sure why the Romans did it, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. But the best thing I can think of is redemption for them being cowards.
Maybe.
I guess.
And also redemption for them attacking the defenseless Picts in the first place.
Yeah.
The more important part of it is that it's two sets of enemies working together for a common goal.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. There was a callback to Face the Raven, which is ironic because they were talking crows in this one. Stop being brave. I can't bear brave people.
Oh, God.
And he can't bear brave people because the last time somebody was brave, it got her killed.
Not that he remembers that, but still.
He remembers that, it's not what Cora looks like.
Mm-hmm. And the crows will always remember Carr. And that's why every crow you see from now on always goes,
Yeah, that was kind of trite to me, but whatever.
I don't mind it. Yeah. But you know that I go for this whimsical bullshit usually, so.
Yes. The crows aren't sulking.
That's something that works.
The crows aren't sulking, as Nardole says. The crows are remembering.
I did like the scene earlier when Nardole was trying to talk to the crow, and it's just like, nah, start.
It can't quite say the word Nardole.
Maybe it was a Throny Games reference, since they had a Throny Games actor in it. I don't know.
Throny Games have talking crows?
I think they're ravens, but yeah.
Okay.
Ravens are quite... ravens have a role to play in Throny Game, yes.
And so then the episode ends, and everyone goes back in the TARDIS, and...
There's more to this resolution that I want to talk about just briefly.
Shit.
It's the way that the portal collapses.
Just sort of
it says the sheer number of people going through at once makes it become unstable and the gateway caves in. So why didn't they just cave in the gateway in the first place? Just brick it up.
Because then it would have really become unstable and torn open. They said that earlier in the episode.
Possibly.
It used to be out in the open, and it would let just whatever through whenever the sun came up, so they built that thing around it to control when it would open, because if it stayed closed for too long, it would tear open.
I'll give it that. Also, there was a rather funny moment where it's like, you'll be farming tomorrow, you can name a cow after me. And then the internet, of course, on its peak form said, oh, would the cow be called Dr. Moo then?
God damn it.
Damn it, internet. And the other thing that I think you're going to talk about...
I mean, technically there is a horse named after Doctor Who, so I wouldn't put it past them.
There is?
Yes, My Little Pony has a horse named Doctor Who.
The Hooves, yeah. Fair enough.
So...
And I think the thing you want to mention then, you said that, they go back to the TARDIS, and somebody's waiting for them.
It's that fish person from Atlantis they picked up.
God damn it.
No, hang on. No, it's Missy.
Yep.
Yeah, I know which one I prefer, and it's Missy. Missy's back.
You prefer you prefer the homicidal, maniacal, evil Time Lord mastermind to a placid fish person.
In terms of characters, yes.
Fine. Anyway, Missy's pretty good.
She is, yes.
Yeah.
And we kind of get a hint. We kind of get a hint.
Let's protest in the highest degree. Don't make me use the squeaky voice.
Yeah, don't make me go squeaky voiced. I quite like. It said, "Were you watching?" Bits of it. Oh, great! Is she reviewing us now?
Which? Oh God!
That's
they know we're here. Yeah,
that's our job. Damn it.
Missy, don't you go holding up mirrors and stealing my work.
I knew you have to crowbar a mirror reference in there eventually when there isn't a mirror one to be had in this episode. God damn it.
I literally said reflect like 10 minutes ago.
And I was ignoring it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But I can't ignore it any longer. Right. There's a hint that Missy is already on board the TARDIS very early on. Because it's like, shouldn't we be guarding the... Nodal says to Doctor, like, shouldn't we be guarding the vault? And he just doesn't seem to be bothered at all. Answer is, he knows she's already in the TARDIS, not in the vault. And then again, like Bill said, you have to guard the vault when he says, I'm going to sacrifice myself and fight off these monsters. So that's a nice little hint.
Oh, wow.
Mrs. Scene... Sorry, Kat,
speaking of that, he seems really willing to just let Missy stay in the TARDIS as he goes into the void to fight off these creatures for who knows how long.
Well, he's showing her trust. He's trying to show her trust.
Yeah, but still, it's the TARDIS.
I still have this weird feeling this is all going to end in tears, but we'll see.
Well, technically, this episode didn't end in tears. It just came out.
Yeah, nice. Speaking of tears.
Nice. Yes, Mrs. crying again.
I don't know if she's faking it or not. I really don't.
And I like the fact that I don't know.
Yeah, that's a testament to Michelle Gomez's amazing acting right there.
She really is good, isn't she? Both possibilities are entirely plausible. Either, yes, it's all a devious plan and the Master has never actually really changed. Or Missy's never actually really changed, I should say. Or it's not a plan and she really does want to change. But maybe she can't
Or
change.
it could even be that she doesn't want to change, but it's just happening because, it's happening.
Or maybe she physically cannot change. Like, it's just impossible.
Who knows?
I also like the reference to music. That's your problem, Missy. You understand the universe, but you never learn to hear the music.
And then they decide to go after his guitar.
What was it? You said, make sure I get his guitar away from him or something. That was a nice little in reference there. But yeah, given the role that music has played in some of the Doctor's adventures and his life in general, it's an interesting little reference.
Cute.
Yeah, because, to be perfectly honest, music can be really powerful. I mean, you hear, every year around Christmas time, they play the fucking saddest song ever, Christmas Shoes, and I cry like a little bitch whenever I hear it, so...
Yeah, music can have that effect on
people. I hate that song. I hate that song so much.
The line at the end, which I think had the shippers screaming from here to eternity, the alternative is that this is real, and it's time for us to become friends again. The shippers are screaming as we speak.
No, they're not screaming because that would take away from typing.
Nice.
She's got you there.
They've already coined the term twissy, for which I want to plunge my hand into an ice bucket.
Oh my gosh.
Twissy. I'm sorry. If you are a 12th master shipper, I respect your right to make fan fiction. Just God, that's such a silly shipping name.
He respects your right, but he's laughing at your ass.
Twilight one.
He respects your right, but he's still laughing at your ass.
I'm laughing at your ship name, but I'm not laughing at your ship.
I think that ship has sailed.
But
oh, you know what would have been a better one? Twister.
Yes.
Because that kind of sounds like Master at the end.
I hate this.
And so that was the Eaters of Light. What were your overall thoughts on the Eaters of Light? Fresno, you go first.
Yeah, it had some pretty good moments in it. Like, I liked. I liked some of the speeches. I liked the Doctor's popcorn distraction. I did like that one speech about how he was standing by the gates of our world and all that. And I do like the crows, but otherwise, this is really underwhelming. It's fine. It's not a shitty episode of Doctor Who. It's just an average one, which will probably bring it down in the rankings. Like this is probably at the bottom 3, like at number 3, but not because it's bad, just because it's least spectacular.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Kat, your thoughts?
I don't know if that'll change.
Oh, you haven't finished, sorry.
Go ahead, Kat.
I can sum it up in one word. Meh.
That's all you want to say about it?
I liked some of the characters, I liked some of the moments, but otherwise, meh.
Yeah, fair enough. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but I completely agree with you two. I thought it was distinctly underwhelming, which is a shame because I had high hopes for this one, given the setting and the mystery, the real-life mystery surrounding it, and the buzz about Rona Munro returning to write for the series. And it just didn't really work that well. I did warm up to it a bit more on the second viewing, but it's still distinctly average. It's not as good as The Empress of Mars last week.
Yeah.
It just isn't. I would have it, I think, 4 from bottom at the moment.
Okay,
which means it's going to end up in the bottom half. It will end up in the bottom half, whatever happens with the finale.
I'm wondering what your bottom 3 are now, because I can tell you what mine are.
It's still Lie of the Land, Not Knock and Smile.
Oh, Smile. Smile?
Well, Smile was fine, but it wasn't good. It wasn't great.
I liked the things it was doing. It was doing more interesting things than Eaters of Light did for me, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking...
Smile Yeah.
Speaking of more interesting things, next week we begin the path to the end of the series with part 1 of the 2-part series finale. This is called World Enough and Time, and my word, the hype for this is off the roof. Off the scale.
What's it about?
Through the roof and off the scale. Well, I can't actually give you the official synopsis. Because the official synopsis contains a spoiler.
Oh, okay. You're going to have to tell us.
You will thank me later for not telling you. But I did find another synopsis off a TV guide, which says a lot less, but doesn't spoil anything. So, a huge spaceship trapped in a gravity well of a black hole, teeming with impossible life forms, harbours one of the Doctor's most feared enemies.
Ooh.
But more importantly than that, going off the trailer, Miss is taking the reins.
Isn't this what you wanted?
This is exactly what I wanted for this episode. I want Missy to have be part of the adventure with the Doctor and crew. I get one better. Missy impersonates the Doctor.
Yeah.
Missy mirrors the Doctor.
Yes.
Missy pulls a Clara.
God!
I sincerely hope they put her eyes in the title sequence.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
God.
Like, just have the opening sequence. Like, we're gonna send Missy into a situation, see how she does, and it's like, oh, so you're saying now, I'm the Doctor. Cue Sting. Cue Missy's eyes in the credits.
Oh, and please let her have top billing too over Peter Capaldi.
I don't know if that will happen, but I think she'll get actual billing in the credits this time. Because she's now technically a companion? Question mark.
Are we allowed to talk about that other thing that's going to be in the episode based on the trailer?
You can talk about the first
not
thing.
The big thing?
You can talk about the other big thing that was shown.
Yeah, then.
They're back.
And it looks super silly.
The Mondasian Cybermen.
Oh my god. A 50-year-old continuity reference.
I can't believe they've done this.
It's kind of funny. I actually managed to recognize them despite the fact I've never seen any of the episodes that they're in.
I cannot believe they've done this.
All one story that they're in?
Well, again, I don't fucking know because I went to a panel on classic Doctor Who episodes and there was a picture of these old Cybermen up there and that's how I fucking recognized them.
Was it the Tomb of the Cybermen by any chance?
No, that's not. No, the Mondasian Cybermen are only in one episode, the 10th Planet. When they come back, they change the design to make them look more like Cybermen you know and love. But Mondasian Cybermen with the weird fucking hoods and shit, and their clock mouthpieces and all this other weird bullshit, they only appeared in one episode, but they will appear next week.
Do you think they'll have the classic voice?
They goddamn better have the classic voice. If you're going
to all that trouble. You will be like us.
No. That's not even the voice. The Cybermen talk more like this in the 10th Planet.
But that is the line, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. And I don't know. I forget. I haven't seen 10th Planet in a while.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see them back. I'm assuming they're the most feared enemies that they're referring to in that unofficial synopsis. It's going to be a lot of fun, I hope.
And there's even more shit that we know about that we can't tell you. It's a secret, but you're going to find out, and you're going to be like, holy fucking shit!
Yeah, we can't...
And of course, if you like us and you saw the Next Time trailer, you probably know already, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Next Time trailer, don't watch it and give yourself the surprise of your life next week.
Which we spoiled most of already by saying all the shit, but whatever.
We haven't spoiled most of it.
Can we at least say the hashtag?
We can't talk about it. Simple as that.
Hashtag we can't talk about it?
Yeah.
Hashtag spoilers.
We can't talk about this yet. Hashtag take a shot.
Hashtag River Song spoilers.
Hashtag mirrors.
No.
Hashtag vitamin D.
God, I was going to say that shit.
Well, thank you, folks, for listening to our review of I know I said World Enough and Time. Then that's next week. Thank you for listening to our review of Beauties of Light. Thank you to my guests, Freezing Inferno and Kat, for derailing the podcast irrevocably.
That's what
You're
we
welcome.
do.
And thank you to you, the audience, for listening. And next week, we come back and we review World Enough and Time. And my God, I'm excited for this one. Until next week, then.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Go get some vitamin D.